Richmond MLK Day, 3 futures were in evidence. One was very clear. Thousands of white supremacists, a lot of them with guns, waving them around, spewing hatred. We've talked about it. Hatred against black people, hatred against Latinos and immigrants. All of this was being spewed out, and they had the initiative. Then you had the Democratic Party and associated forces who were saying to people, stay home, stay away. Let these people have the field. Let them deliver their message of intimidation. Go into hiding, stay away. Come out after they're gone and say you weren't with it. That was another future. And then you had the revolution.
No white supremacy! No white supremacy! No white supremacy!
Bob Avakian, the leader of the revolution, has said there's a direct line from the Confederacy to today's fascists. This applies to the Trump-Pence regime and to this rally here.
This doesn't have to be this way. It can be gotten rid of through an actual revolution. We're bringing forward Bob Avakian as the leadership for that revolution, the science and strategy that he's forged in the new communism, and the concrete vision of a radically different and far better world in the Constitution for a future socialist republic. That's the 3 futures. And we should note that a very bad future has initiative, and then there's another future that has you going on your knees in the face of that, but there's a future of going up against it that has the potential to break through. But it can't do it if people who hate this shit view this as a spectator sport, and we're gonna watch it go down.
Get with the Revolution Club. Go to RevCom.us. Go to tune into RevCom. Get organized for a real revolution. A better world is possible.
Literally thousands, tens of thousands of fascists with their guns and going up in there and feeling like you're jumping into a water of sharks. That's how it felt. Just kind of going through there and just kind of that visceral reaction. And we were talking earlier, I had to hold it together because I was, even though, we know where this is, some of us know where this is all coming from, there's still a shock to how this is playing out. These are the people who would have been pro-slavery. Given when slavery existed, these are the people who would have held the picnics and hung people on trees and would have sent postcards to their families of these lynchings. These are the people who would have murdered Emmett Till. These are those people. And we saw that. And just going up in there, waving their Trump flags, waving their Don't Tread on Me flags, chanting USA, USA. It was very similar to watching those black and white films of Nuremberg rallies of Nazis chanting Sieg Heil. Look, the stakes are nothing less than the future of humanity and the planet. If you care, you need to actually get into Bob Avakian if you're serious about changing the world, because this new communism could change everything. But there is an urgency at the times that we're facing now. If fascism consolidates, that means even the chance to even do what we're doing right now, that goes out the window. The leadership goes out the window. Even making changes within the system, that goes out the window for good. And that is what we're facing. And I just think people really have to think about what do they want their lives to be about? Do they just want their lives to be about getting ahead and competing with each other? All of this bullshit, all of this selfie culture, this petty stuff and dogging on women, dogging on other people? Or do they want their lives to be about the emancipation of all humanity?
We put forward a statement about the need to stand up against this and oppose this, and we went to go do that ourselves. And not just, because we're so tough or something, but because if you don't actually lead people to go up against this and take things another direction, that's the point. It's not just, we just wanted to take a good stand. we actually have to change the course of things. We have to change the direction of things. We have to lead the masses of people to do that for humanity, in the interest of humanity. We have to lead people in relation to building the kind of mass sustained protest, nonviolent protest that Refuse Fascism has called for to drive out this fascist regime. But we have to lead people too to understand what Carl was saying earlier. This has come through the whole history of this country, and the whole workings of this system give rise to this. And we need a revolution. And we do have answers to being able to make a revolution. We have the leadership in Bob Avakian for that. There's work that's been done. There's a science here. There's strategy. There's a constitution that's been written for leading a new socialist republic in North America that has a vision of how we could actually lead a new society where people are overcoming all of that, uprooting all the decades and centuries and thousands of years of oppression. But even throughout the history of this country, the white supremacy, the misogyny. Somebody said they saw a sign out there yesterday that said, "Guns don't kill people, abortions do." These things go hand in hand. The white supremacy, the women-hating misogyny, the hatred of immigrants and the American chauvinism. And you heard it in the clip, the USA, USA that they were chanting. These things all go together. And this is the fact that this is the way the world is now, but doesn't have to be this way. That had to come through. And we were there representing that future that's possible. And really what that means, a different, not just the different kind of people to be, but a different way the world can be and how to fight for that. And that there is leadership for that and a vanguard force that's taking up the new communism Bob Avakian has brought forward and is fighting for that and is getting organized for this revolution.